GQ magazine released the cover of its annual Men of the Year issue, naming former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick as their Citizen of the Year. Now, they said they are honoring Kaepernick's activism on police brutality. Remember, this is the same Kaepernick. See those socks? It depicts policemen as pigs. And much worse. Joining us with reaction, American First Action spokesman, senior advisor, former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke, and civil rights attorney Daryl Parks. Daryl, it's the stuff that the position that he has taken on police. It is a broad, sweeping generalization. You know, we see in Vegas, we see on 9/11, we see in the most recent attack in New York, we see the cops. Those are the days we remember, wow. These are amazing people that put their lives on the line for us. And don't they deserve the presumption of innocence? And the action of one bad cop does not reflect on the 99.999% of others. He rushes to judgment. He supported a murdering dictator, Castro. How do you get the Man of the Year with socks and acting like that?
Sean, let me say, you got to also remember that there are still hundreds of young black males who've lost their lives at the hands of the police as well, too. So, yes, there are situations where we have to take a look at this.
There are instances of a few, but there are also instances of many cops that risk their life. Look at the cops in the case of Steve Scalise going up against a rifle, open field with a pistol. That's almost a suicide mission. But they did it to save lives. That's how amazing these cops are to me.
Well, let me say, and I know Officer Bailey personally. He's a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. Let me say, people like that do good things, but we still have to deal with the big problem we have with black people losing their lives in the hands of the police. We have not dealt with that issue as a country. So he brought great attention to a great number of people who are losing their lives with encounters with law enforcement. That issue has not been dealt with as a country. We must deal with it.
Sheriff?
Well, first of all, the facts are very clear. The data is clear. More black men lose their lives at the hands of other black men, not police. But as for GQ, look, I think probably the first runner-up would have been O.J. Simpson. This is a political stunt by GQ magazine, a failing magazine. You know, their viewership or their readership is probably off. They had to bring attention to themselves. That's why I call this a political stunt, much like when Rolling Stone put one of the Tsarnaev brothers on their cover. The left and GQ in this instance has really cheapened what it means in the United States of America to hold iconic status. When I think of people like Medgar Evers, lost his life fighting for civil rights, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, who did it silently, Muhammad Ali, who was stripped of his boxing title to stand up for what he believed in. And I think of Jackie Robinson, who crossed the color barrier in baseball. These people accomplished something and really stood for something. They had a core about them. Kaepernick doesn't know what he's talking about. If you recall, Sean, he's not the original take a knee. That was Tim Tebow who did it in prayer. Kaepernick sat on his ass during the national anthem, and the disrespect that he showed not only for the flag and for the anthem and for America, but for military people as well.
Those people that fought, bled, and died. 20 seconds, Daryl.
Without question, the protest was not about the flag. I think.
Oh, yes,
no,
that
it was
flag,
never about
people
the flag.
died fighting under,
about
sir.
The flag. No, but his protest was not about the flag, and he's always said that.
All right, thank you.
To my fellow proud conservative Republicans, to my fellow proud Americans, and to my fellow proud Christians, it is with great sadness that I come before you today to let you know that GQ magazine, a magazine published in America, has just put Colin Kaepernick on the cover and named him the Person of the Year. I never thought in my lifetime I would see an American publication honoring an individual who kneeled during the national anthem, who divided this country. This is a sad day for me. What is our world coming to? It's time for us to take a stand. If we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. People can kneel during the national anthem. That's their right. But you get honored for kneeling during the national anthem? Really? They should have put Tim Tebow on the cover. That man kneeled to glorify God and bring all races together in unity to glorify God. But in this country here, you can talk about God. You can talk about his son, our Messiah. You can talk about the President of the United States. And people will celebrate you. You can kneel during the national anthem and get celebrated. But if you say something about homosexuals, about transgenders, about these violent liberals, you can get in trouble. Sad day. We need to pray like never before. May God bless you. May God bless America.
Do blue lives really matter to GQ? Well, not as much as remaining relevant does. You guys catch this? Colin Kaepernick was just named Citizen of the Year by the magazine that we all thought went out of business. I gotta give him credit though, definitely the PR play of the year. That's right, America, the football player who can't even get a job because A, he sucks at football, B, he disrespects all veterans and police, and C, he hates America, was just named the Citizen of the Year. The story is called Colin Kaepernick Will Not Be Silenced. That's fair because all this race-baiting anti-American bum has been doing for the last year has been complaining that nobody will hire him. Has he been out raising money for the gang violence victims in Chicago? Nope. Has he been out trying to educate himself on the simple fact that more white people were shot than Hispanic people and African American people combined last year? Nope. Has he been working with inner city families to overcome all of the socioeconomic differences that lead to an increase in violence and crime in those inner cities? Nope. What's he been doing? He's been sitting around and complaining that nobody likes him. I suppose it's fitting that this liberal magazine would use a whiny, entitled loser to try and convince mommy and daddies of millennials to subscribe to an overpaid pile of ads that shows you that manliness is wearing a purple turtleneck and a vagina hat out in public. You know what, guys? I have a list of millions of people who should be Citizens of the Year. They are the majority of police and first responders and veterans here in America. But of course, all this really was a desperate attempt by GQ to remain relevant, even if it means selling your soul and declaring that you hate America. If you are with me, share this video with everybody that you know. And in the comments below, tag a person who you believe should be Citizen of the Year. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick one winner. We're going to fly him out here to the Whiskey Wall. We're going to interview them, and we are going to show GQ what a true American Citizen of the Year looks like. Share this video, tag a friend right now. God bless America, and screw off, GQ.
Welcome back. I'm Liz Wheeler, and this is my final point. GQ magazine named out-of-work football player and social justice warrior Colin Kaepernick as Citizen of the Year. Last month, 4 American soldiers were killed in a firefight with ISIS. One hero soldier fought off a whole bunch of terrorists with one machine gun before he was captured, dragged away, and killed. But yeah, let's honor the yuppie quarterback who wore socks declaring all U.S. police officers to be pigs. That's a great message. Let's teach a new generation of little black boys to live in fear of a phantom Democratic talking point. That's right, it's a talking point. Fomenting violence and racial divide by lying. Yes, lying about police-involved shootings of unarmed black men. The hands up, don't shoot narrative is a lie. It's been debunked as a lie. If you'd like to read more about it for yourself, I invite you to please do so. Read the forensic analysis of the Michael Brown case. Read the judge's ruling on Darren Wilson. Educate yourself on what the video evidence actually tells us. Don't just mimic a millionaire athlete with a communist girlfriend who turns his back on our flag and disrespects our military because he's too lazy to open his mind and accept the truth. What message is GQ magazine sending with this honor? Do you want your kids to emulate the football player who praises the communist government in Cuba? Great healthcare, he says, great education. Well, then why do so many Cubans risk shark-infested waters to escape the Cuban regime? Seems like a pretty dumb thing to do to escape paradise. And while we're at it, how many Cubans are allowed to protest their government and live to see another day, let alone get their face plastered on the front of GQ magazine? Oh, that's right. That only happens in America because America is second to none in the world, and any person can say any stupid thing he wants without fear of the government punishing him. Do you want your kids to emulate the football player who idolizes Che Guevara, the radical communist who executed innocent people for doing the same thing Kaepernick did, expressing their opinions? It seems funny to me that the man who made himself a household name criticizing our country idolizes the radical who killed people who criticized their country. Do you want your kids emulating the man who praised Assata Shakur, the cop killer who shot a New Jersey state trooper in cold blood, then escaped prison, then fled to Cuba? No, I think not. Funny how GQ never mentioned any of these things Kaepernick has done. J.J. Watt raised $37 million for relief for Hurricane Harvey victims. But yeah, GQ, let's honor Kaepernick, the man who disrespected the flag that draped the coffins of the men and women who died to protect his right to be an idiot. And that's my final point. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a good night.